Welcome to Language Lesson 86. Last time we got together, we were talking about the helping verbs and the irregular verbs together. We talked about grow, blow, know, and fly, and how present tense, past tense do not need helping verbs, but the future needs help, showing the verb. So today we're going to learn about some more, but before we do, let's go ahead and go over some sentences and identifying the verb and the subject or the verb phrase in the sentence. So please take a look at this first sentence here. Rachel is visiting the Toronto Zoo. I want you to identify the verb phrase in the sentence. Did you say is visiting? If you did, that is correct. Remember, the verb phrase falls in the predicate part of our sentence. Now, what is the subject of the sentence? Did you say Rachel? If you did, excellent. I have color coded the verb phrase and the subject. The subject's in green and the verb phrase is in blue. Rachel is visiting the Toronto Zoo. Let's do another one just for extra practice. What about this sentence? Marco will take a picture. What is the verb phrase in this sentence? We could also call this the predicate. Did you say will take? If you did, that is correct. If will take is the verb or the verb phrase, what is the subject? Did you say Marco? If you did, you're correct. I've color coded them the same way as before. Subject is in green, verb phrase or predicate is in blue. Marco will take a picture. All right, now that we've reviewed identifying the verb and the subject or the agreement between the two, I'm going to have us go over our helping verbs. We learned about helping verbs and we're going to continue to learn about how the helping verbs help the verb action being shown. So I want you to say the verb as I show them to you. Great job. Now we're going to talk about these verbs. So I want you to look in the present tense. Can you say each word that you see here in the present tense? Great. Now, what do you notice about each of these verbs? Did you say that each of them are showing what's happening right now? If you did, that's correct. So each of the verbs in this column is telling us about an action that is happening now. Maisie sings, the bells ring, you go to school, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. None of these verbs need any help showing the action. What about the list in the past tense? Can you say these verbs? Great job. Now, what do you notice about these verbs in the past tense column? If you said that each of these verbs tell you about something that has already happened, you are correct. So let's put these with our sentences. Maisie sang, the bells rang, you went to school, water froze at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. None of these words need any help to show the action. Now, take a look at the last column here. Say each word out loud to yourself. So now let's try our sentences with these words. Maisie sung, the bells rung, you gone to school, water frozen at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you may be thinking, none of these make sense or they sound wrong. If you are, that's because these verbs need helping verbs to help show the action. So let's correct our sentences. Before we said Macy sung. We can add a helping verb to make that make more sense. So if we added Maisie, or Maisie has sung a song in church, that makes more sense. What about the bells in the steeple have rung each Sunday? Have is the helping verb that makes rung show its action. What about you have gone to school all week long? Have is showing gone, the action of gone in the sentence. And lastly, water has frozen on the pond. Has is helping frozen show its action. All right, now that we've gone over those, we are going to continue to learn what we've applied. What we've learned here. We're going to apply what we've learned in your book. So please go ahead and take out your language book and begin working on page 95 to apply this concept with these specific verbs. Happy studying.